This week's episode is brought to you by, oh my god, there's new Great Nature reveals. I'm so fucking excited.
Hello and welcome to Nexus at Night, the only podcast where your regular host is too busy creaming himself over a children's trading card to actually intro properly. I'm Root Beer.
I'm Matt.
What? I mean, he's right, but name. I'm excited.
You can't even talk. What is it that you could possibly be so excited about?
Great Nature got reveals for things, and they're big cats, and I'm happy. And
we learned that he's a cat person, so
I think I'm a dog person. I think in real life, although I have a cat. Her name's Sophie. She's licking herself right now.
Does Sophie meow a lot for no reason?
No, she doesn't. She's not much of a meow.
My cat is he's a chonker.
A chonker. What's a chonker?
A chonker is a large cat.
Oh,
large
chunker.
Round sense, a chonker, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I still have that picture of you guys where he's like looking at you like, please don't hurt me.
Yeah. So what he does is he'll just meow incessantly until, for no reason. Like, he'll have food, he'll have water, he'll have a clean litter box, he'll be petted, and he'll still be meowing. And you're like, what do you want? Meow. What?
Meow. I love that meme where it's like he doesn't protect, he doesn't attack, but most importantly, he constantly meow for additional snack.
Right, but he has snack. There's also this meme where it's like, what if I told you can eat the bottom layer of food in your bowl, and the cat is like, oh.
I don't know. I mostly just wake up with my cat next to me, just judging me, like you're ugly when you sleep.
Same.
Or whatever it is cats
say. So let's talk about these cards that you're so excited about.
Holy.
So I guess the first one is what, Grand Strike Dragon? Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm excited about. The Gear Chronicle thing. Yeah, Atlas Novak, the guy who plays Gear Chronicle. Oh yeah, running around Nexus Core. Hey guys, I have another Gear Chronicle deck profile for you. That's not why I'm fucking excited. I'm excited because this glorious cat is back, School Hunter Leopold. Grade 3, 12k, Excel gift. If you have a grade 3 in your soul, you can use the auto ability twice, including when placed abilities. You do them twice. So on Van, when placed, you put the top card of your deck into your drop zone and perform one of these effects below, depending on that card's type. If it was a normal unit, you look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, call up to 2 grade 2 or less cards among them to rear, and shuffle. And if it was a trigger unit, this unit gets plus 15k and a crit until end of turn. All I heard was that it's new Great Nature stuff, and so, yeah.
So you could theoretically ride this thing and just call 4 things?
Yep.
That's sweet.
Or gain 30k and 2 crits.
Nice. Or you call 2 things and get 15k and a crit. This seems pretty freaking sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially for an Excel card.
Yeah, it's an Excel. It's a card that can immediately fill its Excel circle, not from your hand, Gold Paladin.
Yeah, so this is kind of a theme with this stream revealed the theme that Great Nature is going to have, where they're going to have so the theme is going to be milling cards. So, not as much as Grand Blue. You're just going to be milling cards for effects of cards that you play, and whether the parity of the unit, whether it's a normal unit or a trigger unit, will determine the effect that you get.
Yes.
What? Oh, I was going to read a card, but go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I did the first one and.
So another example is Binoculus Tiger. So this is the triple R grade. This is a retrain of the original triple R. So it's, and the new one says Van or rear. When it attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1. If you do, you put the top card of your deck in drop zone, then apply one of the effects depending on the type of unit sent to the drop zone. Normal unit, you draw a card. And trigger unit, you choose an opponent's rear card, retire it, and your front row units get power plus 5,000 until end of turn, which is pretty strong.
Yeah, so you either immediately refund Binoculus himself, or you get to kill something in Great Nature, which we literally did not have the ability to do that until now.
Well, you could kill stuff, but only your own.
Yes.
But they got rid of it. But I think it's good that if you were going to get rid of, if you're going to make a new mechanic, if you're going to make Great Nature Excel, getting rid of the self-retire makes a lot of sense.
Yes. And then the last one was Monoculus Tiger, which, much like the thing, was a retrain of the Grade 1. So when it attacks or boosts a rear guard, you can Soul Blast, and you put the top card of your deck in drop zone. If it was a normal unit, your opponent can't call Sentinels from hand to guard circle, and if it was a trigger, your opponent can only call triggers from hand until the end of the battle. So, hello, Zoa Shenanigans. Nice to meet you again.
So this can boost the Rhino.
Yes.
To make it so your opponent just can't guard ever,
except for G guards.
Can't guard with Sentinels except G guards. So they have to guard Zoa with G guards and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
We're gonna go over this when we eventually get to the set review for this thing, but I woke up to this stream this morning. I couldn't think about anything else all day. Like, Great Nature's.
I was at work, so I couldn't really read stuff completely. I was kind of looking at my phone like between classes. But yeah, I think this is like pretty. So this is going to give already we can see some kind of like Ichi Tom-esque shenanigans for Great Nature and Premium.
Yes.
The issue is going to come up that to make sure they have the early game to survive, which is going to depend a lot on their new cards. Because there's some old cards that can do stuff for Great Nature, but we'll just see how it plays out. I don't want to make any decisions now.
Me neither, but off of these 3 cards alone, the amount of crazy shit I can do in Premium is palpable.
Now, I do have some reservations about the new Great Nature stuff, and you can check me on this as we go. One thing I have is that you are paying cost for a random effect.
Yes, that's
in the case of Monoculus Tiger, in the case of Leopold, I don't think it's a huge deal. I think for Leopold, sometimes you will really just want the calls, and you're more likely to get the normal unit than the trigger unit in general, since your deck has twice as many normal units as trigger units. With that being said, it does matter a lot in the case of Monoculus Tiger. If you have low amounts of rear guards, you're definitely going to want to mill a normal unit. But if you have full front row, you're definitely going to want to mill a trigger. You're looking to mill a trigger unit, and milling a normal unit is kind of a huge downside, and kind of losing a CB for not a very great effect. So, drawing card is good. I'm not saying drawing card is not a great effect, but I'm saying contextually, it's less good than giving your front row 5k.
Well, one thing that is nice is because this is on attack, you can drop your hand, and then. Well, it's not like I call Binoculus Tiger, and then, I didn't have a front row to buff. It's after you've called everything. Although it does kind of suck with the on-attack thing if you get the draw, because then you're like, what if I needed this to make a board? And then now it's in my hand now instead of during the main phase.
Yeah. So I do think, sometimes, you're playing a bit of randomness here.
Yes.
But I think Leopold is very strong. I think I think on average, you're probably getting either 2 units, 15k to crit, or 4 units.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you do mill 2 normal units, you're looking at top 4 is probably less good. But overall, I think this is a great way to fill Excel circles.
Yes.
And this is kind of how Excel clans probably should look.
It's an Excel clan that almost plays like a Protect clan because you want to ride on top of the Grade 3.
Well, if you look at the Excel clans that are succeeding, aka Murakumo has some ways to even plus up to 2 units.
Yes.
For 1 CB.
Oh, touche.
And this is a way to plus 2, probably you even writing this first, you can plus 2 units for nothing.
Also, you don't have to pay any cost for this. It's just ride, mill, done.
So free.
Yeah.
Which is why I think this card is pretty strong. It's free either 15k to crit or free 2 units just on the first ride. And God forbid, you ride it again, then you're am I going to call 4 things? Am I going to call 2 things and get a 15k to crit? This guy could just become a problem.
I'm the opposite of George's getting upset. I'm so happy.
Right?
This is better than I could have hoped for, because I said that the fact that Great Nature was Excel is a benefit in that you can do crazy stuff with Battle Earl, but now you can, because it's an on-ride skill, this meshes with Premium perfectly. Unlike things like Tachikaze or Okay, my cat's burrowing under my covers without me there. Weird. Okay, so unlike Tachikaze or Neo-Nectar, where it's two mechanics that are conflicting with each other, this can work together.
Sorry, I'm reading the stride for Leopold.
The Leopold. Oh, that thing's terrible.
I was just seeing if it were randomly good if you did have a Leopold, but it's apparently just not.
Okay, so when this attacks a Vanguard, if you have a hard card with Leo...
And then you search for it at the end of the turn. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, it is nice if, like, let's say you do the Leo, check top 4, call 2 things, one of them's a Leo, right? And then you can kill that Leo and search another one.
Yeah, this is too high rolly for me. Like,
of course.
That's a little much. Like, yeah, I just don't think it's good enough. But it is pretty sweet.
Yeah, looks nice.
So I mean, and so some people think the kind of the Ichi-Tom, the kind of second stride, you're basically just can't guard kind of stuff is a little powerful.
Yeah.
But I think premium is okay to have second stride your dead kids. Like, if you haven't done, like, if you haven't made the game winnable, like, if you haven't pushed your opponent by second stride, the game should be over in premium.
There's also we had something like that before this even, where you could combine Mana Garm with Talented Rhinos and you can only G-Guard, which again, like this, it's the same thing. So.
Right. I mean, this Zoa plus this garbage is a little more powerful, but
yeah,
that's supposed to be the point. And I think, so second stride you're dead, I think is fine in the sense that I think that's where premium should be. Is like if your opponent gets a second stride first, they should just kill you, or have an option to have some kind of option with an unguardable attack or some ridiculous bullshit. But I think the problem is things like No Life King, which just does it on grade 3 ride.
Yep.
Where you're just like, excuse me.
And can make its own damage, so it's not even like I can damage deny this, and no, just call the self damage or use the cat to unflip all the damage you just did, do all the restands, and then put them back at the end. It's not. Yeah,
it's just.
I just think it's aligned. In the shittiest way. It's just
so absurd, and I think something's going to have to be done about that deck. Like, I think that deck is too good.
Yep.
It doesn't fit along the same lines as premium decks should. Like, I think second stride is where games should be pushing to end, and this deck is like way before in the context of a whole fucking turn or something. But you know what I mean, like a turn and a half before.
Oh no,
which is still
I have the deck. Hit Assassin, please, Bushiroad. Put it to 1. I'm okay with it.
Right? Like, Assassin is just too good.
It's still, like, with full board, that's still 2 restands on No Life King. It's fine. It's good. It also hit Gizeh, but that's more just annoyance at the fact that one of the people on Proof's Discord is like, I'm going to make Great Nature Gizeh, and that makes me sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think the deck is cool. I'm glad, like, I think it's cool that the deck exists. Like, I wish they wouldn't have banned things like Commander Laurel and Premium, because I don't like we talked about in the Dimension Blues Premium episode with a different fight. Like, Laurel's just not the old Laurel's just not that good.
Yeah.
But like, I think Bushiroad is overreactive to things that they restrict, and just don't let things exist for a little bit. Like, I think it's fine to let No Life King exist for like a few months. Like, let people know, like, oh shit, this deck's crazy. This is the shit you can kind of do in premium. It gets people. If you let it exist for too long, it gets boring. But if you let it exist for a little bit, it can make it look exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1 or 2 major tournaments, so that people can be like, oh my god, what is this bullshit, and then like hit it.
Yeah, but I do think it needs to be hit, and I think at this point we're probably not going to see a No Life King hit until January after Worlds.
Okay.
So people. So I would expect another 2.5, 3 months of No Life King.
If if they want to give it its fair shake because standard DIs don't really seem to be doing much, then fine.
Standard DI card quality, I think, is just too low.
Yeah.
Like, the soul sharding is abysmal.
Well, yeah, it's just slow.
Yeah. And Gwyn is unplayable trash. But anyway, they showed that Gwyn with the super sweet foiling, and I was like, man, this looks so cool, except this card's
if only this card was actually usable.
Yeah, right?
If it was 5, why they had it for Royal Wolf Cedar? Why couldn't they make it 5? Would have been fine.
Yeah, but I think premium actually looks pretty. I like where premium has gone. I just don't like the fact that no Life King exists. Also, I think Gize could is like kind of a side issue. Unsure. I think no Life King is a bigger problem right now. Mm-hmm. But I think if you do hit Assassin, I think looking at something related to Gize could be important. Just because like you don't want to get into a situation where everyone is playing some Gize variant or some or only decks that can like tangle with Gize. I just think that's like a dangerous road. As in, like the metagame is becoming like developed around this card.
Yeah, exactly. It like Different Fight said, it's over centralizing.
Right.
Or Solemn or whoever said it. I can't remember.
It was Different Fight was when we were discussing about it, so I'm just going to give him credit.
Okay, sure.
I don't know if you remember who said it, but yeah. So I do agree with Different Fight's point about that that Gize should probably have something done to it. Not because not even if it's overpowered. Like decks can be beatable, but still oppressive in some sense. Mm-hmm. Just because they warp the format around them.
Is there like a not tried and true, but just like a consistent way to beat Gize, or is it literally just I got triggers faster than you?
I mean, I think proofs matches against Gize are kind of like a clinic on like the kind of things you need to be doing in order to beat Gize.
Be able to function on 1 or no counterblast is
not only that, but be able to go have power over Gize if the game gets to that point.
Yeah,
like proof match in the finals of the ARG Nationals is like so like his matches are so great. Like they just teach you you can just watch these matches and watch him use force gifts to kind of make Gize's power base normal.
Yeah.
With his first deck, he stacks game 1 he splits his force triggers or force gifts and it ends up costing him. And then the next game, we had talked to Proof afterward, and this was not the case, right? But he split his force triggers, and we were like, oh, but then later you stack them on 1, and I thought at the time that he was like adjusting in the middle of a match, which I thought was insane because I would have not have expected to stack 3 force triggers. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking he was some kind of super genius at this point, which could still be true.
Hot take. Proof is both the Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers of Vanguard.
but he then just like basically always had a power column that basically treated Gize as 0 base power, and could still hit through Gize's 30k base.
I mean,
so
that's a way to look at deleters too, where everyone's like, "Oh my God, 0 is so powerful." I'm like, it's just plus 11k to the front row.
Yep.
Think of it like that.
So I think how do I say? I think but it basically the problem with Gize is it locks out certain decks from even existing.
Yeah, Aquaforce.
Yeah, like you're just not going to play so many decks because if your opponent Gizes, you have no way to play after that. You have no way to gain the amounts of power needed to get to that point. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that Bermuda can still tangle is because they had an absurd last set.
Yes. And it scares me what they'll do with it
And that deck is still insane.
Yes.
And they're force gifts?
Yeah,
they're
force gifts. They don't even need those. Literally just the big triggers.
Force gift Bermuda. Oh boy.
Yep.
I can't wait.
We're probably going to have an episode like this months down the line where like me or Matt does the intro and then Root Beer's like giddily laughing off to the side. It happens with everybody. It's fine.
But you normally do the intro anyways.
I know.
Who knows? Maybe I'll do it for that episode, Root Beer. Maybe I will. I'll just steal it right from under his nose.
I'm not totally against it. Anyway.
So yeah, I think premium actually looks pretty interesting. It's unfortunate that how do I say? Like, even if I didn't sell my DP stuff, I still don't really have a DP. I wouldn't have a DP deck anyway, which is actually hilarious to me.
You didn't buy standard either?
I didn't.
Ah.
The deck was like, I was playing it on area, and the deck was like pretty whatever, and like I still want to own it at some point, but I haven't gotten it yet. Mm-hmm. I don't think the deck is great. I think the deck is like hyper medium.
Hyper medium.
Like it is the most medium a deck can be.
Okay, so we have medium, medium plus, medium minus, and hyper medium.
Like it is the pinnacle of medium.
Like Halloween on a Wednesday. Hyper medium.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when are you supposed to have your Halloween party? You can't have it after. You have to have it the weekend before. And then everyone's like, "What's like so far from Halloween?"
Yeah, exactly. Like Thursday you do it after, Tuesday you do it before, Wednesday.
No. People never do it after. It is bizarre. Once November hits, you can no longer have Halloween parties, Atlas.
Are you guys dressing up this year?
God, no.
Why?
Why would I?
I don't know.
All right, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing on Halloween. I'm going to be sitting in my room.
Oh.
No. Sitting in my room, doing nothing. Hopefully. Or I'm going to be at work, one of the two.
This really bums me out. I am going to a Halloween party at a comedy club, and I'm going to be dressed as Theodore Roosevelt. So, we'll put that
I'm
on
going
the
to be
Instagram.
tired from school and probably playing video games.
So I definitely Googled Halloween 2018 to see what day it landed on,
Yeah.
and instead I got the movie Halloween, which is released tomorrow.
Well, no, it got released this weekend.
Oh, last weekend? Oh yeah, it got released last week.
And it apparently was like a banger of a box office. Nexus at Night, the movie reviewing podcast and/or Halloween
Okay, it
podcast.
is on a Wednesday. We did it. All right.
That was the joke,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, so I will be at work on Halloween.
I mean, I will too, but I have the night off, so.
Mm.
And that is when I will be going into West Side Comedy Theater's Halloween party being like, bully! And because last year I ran into Epic Lloyd from Epic Rap Battles of History, but I was dressed as Bob Ross. So I'm hoping he'll be there this year so I can be like, I'm you! Yeah, back to Vanguard stuff. So we got an interesting kind of thought experiment from a fan. I won't say the name just because privacy. And it's as follows. I feel giving clans more than one gift can help make different deck ideas and make your play count a little more. Because if you write a force gift, then those Excel gifts won't work, but the unit might still be good in their own right. I would like you hear what you guys have to say about this. Aside from several misspellings and grammar, I think this is an
This is the wrong there.
Yeah, wrong there and wrong then.
All right, so if I think Excel plus Force is kind of the only one place where this makes sense. Like, I think if you look at Force plus Protect, I think it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense.
Or like Excel plus Protect.
Yeah, that makes even less sense somehow.
Well, yeah, because
Really just looking at so you're really just looking at what if we could put Excel, like overlay Excel circles on our normal front row circles.
Yeah. And also, like, they've been balancing the cards around what gift they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Protect explicitly has stronger rear guards and higher power gains because they need something to make up that gap between them and Force in terms of offensive power.
But I think Force Excel could be powerful because there's a lot of times when you're playing Excel decks where like, man, I wish I could just throw this circle on, like, I wish I could just boost this circle instead of like throwing it off to the abyss.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, it kind of messes with their like power-based thing that they were doing, where Force is 13 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And
Excel circle, but also a 13k base Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
question. So with Protect and Excel, grade 2s are 9k, grade 3s are 12k generally, and with Force it's 10 and 13, like you said, Rapier. So I think if you had like multiple gifts, doesn't this fuck with the number ratio? We're like, all right, cool, I'm a Force Vanguard, but I'm I'm 12k base or whatever, or I was 12k base.
So actually, Force Protect might make sense, only because you're just giving the Protect finishers a Force trigger or a Force gift.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is real gross.
42k bastard.
But I don't think this will increase the diversity of decks. I just think this will make inherently more powerful decks.
Yeah.
But that's not
Like,
a good thing, is it, necessarily?
Not necessarily. Like, the decks will definitely be more powerful only because you have more options. But I don't think it'll necessarily make a more diverse metagame. If anything, I think it's very possible a deck just becomes really broken.
Yeah.
At least how the cards are currently constructed.
Side note, with Premium, do you think I think it's been easier to mesh older decks with newer support because of the numbers in Excel or Protect clans versus Enforced clans.
I mean, look at Spikes.
Touche. But I mean, you kind of just stuck a G deck on it.
Where it comes down is how generic your old support is.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of the clans that were kind of under supported before, your support was fairly generic, and so it carries over well.
Great nature.
Right. But a clan like Murakumo, whose ult support was actually very specific
and not
good, like your G deck doesn't, your premium deck doesn't exist. So like Kumo only has standard cards. Like your G zone and your G, you have no G guards.
Mm-hmm.
You have bad strides that have very high costs, and these cards just don't exist. So Kumo can never be competitive in premium because they just lack the tools to play a G game.
Yeah.
Especially when your win condition has to do with riding and you can just stride.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And also, a lot of premium or a lot of G-era support ended up being really keyword driven too, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what bothers me.
Not a great keyword. But I some people in Proof's Discord were talking about some cool Tenma setups with the new support.
Like what?
So dual weapon is the classic, but Excel circles basically give you more Tenma power base.
Oh. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's interesting, although Tenma's multi-attack ability does rely on forcing your opponent to guard.
Right. But the idea is that because you have more columns, you have more attacks to set up. So even if they have some to take, you will still have more attacks to go because you have more circles that can attack.
Mm.
So the idea is that because you have more front row circles, you can allow that they take more attacks. Granted, if it's still going to trigger, it's still dangerous, but you can set up positions where they want to take damage.
Hmm.
It also probably relies on your opponent not knowing what Kumo does, just because some cards are definitely worth taking, where others are not.
Like every card game anime ever.
Yeah, like in the anime, people are like, "That card does that," and you're like, "Well," but in real life, we'll read your card and be like, "Oh yeah, I don't want you attacking with more of these." Reading Yashibayashi, because that lets you get free. That lets you spend soul instead of counterblast for attacks. Yeah, let's not I'm going to take that one, and you're like, this sucks.
I mean, that's also the case in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime too, where they're like, "Oh, my thing has another ability. Did you know?" You're like, "Wait, what?" And then stuff happens.
To be fair, even in real life, you can read a Yu-Gi-Oh card and miss an entire ability.
Yeah,
of course.
And especially with Yu-Gi-Oh's weird rulings, you could also misinterpret that ability.
Right.
I just want to see an episode of the anime where they're like, "All right, so I just have it be as boring and tournament-like as possible."
I'm kind of tempted for Premium Kumo to not actually play one G guard, because your G guards don't matter, right? You're never using them.
Might as well just use the 20k shield.
Yeah, you got a new G guard in V series. It's called Heal Trigger. Let me read it for you. The name is you gotta check my notes here. Stealth Fiend Yukihime. It's grade 0, has 20k shield. It's it. Better than every Murakumo G guard.
Shots fired.
Oh no, I've been firing these shots for a long time.
That's true.
Can't miss.
And this, if I had the time and or editing skills, would be where I put the supercut of Matt just ripping on G Murakumo, but I don't have the time or editing.
You also have to go back and find every time I've ripped on Murakumo, which is a lot.
That would be the time part.
By the way, I play Murakumo. I have Murakumo in Standard even.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. How much time and energy I put in this clan that I just hate. Or I don't hate it. I just think they're really bad. I actually don't hate Murakumo at all. I'm just how is it that the important G was just so awful?
Like the Bad News Bears in the first half of the movie.
They just print strictly better cards elsewhere.
Yeah, of course. Or they
And
try
like,
out
what?
shit there
What?
and then upgrade it and send it somewhere else. Shibaraku Buster. Okay, this is nice.
The Alpha Saver?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was absolutely revolting. And now you had Tenkei Blaster Blade? Oh my god. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I have 2 month standards, so they're pretty sweet. I haven't really played much. There's somebody I'm supposed to play with in real life, actually. We'll see how that goes.
I think there was a post on Reddit where they were like, "We're looking for people in Annapolis," and I forgot to send it to you.
Is it the Third Eye Comics game day thing?
Might be. I can't remember. This was.
That's normally what I play. Shout out to Third Eye Games and Hobbies. Yeah, that's where I play Magic at, and they're having a very good day. But I have work that night, so I can only go for like an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna try to show up for even that hour.
Yeah.
Before I have to go to work.
Well, if they can generate some kind of interest.
Right. I mean, I will show up. It's got to make it at a time I can attend.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, multiple gifts, weird and kind of a bad idea.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like, I don't think it's like a terrible idea, but I think you would have to redesign cards with that in mind.
Yeah. I think because they have balanced their current system around the gifts, I think with the information we have, we can't really say because the game in its current state wouldn't support that.
But I'm just letting you guys know, if the game, like, the formats that we're given aren't the only formats that you can play. There are plenty of formats made in other games that people just kind of made up.
Yep.
And, like, what you could do is you could just say, hey, let's play a 2-clan game where we combine 2 clans and have a great time.
It's called Extreme Fight.
Fun. Yeah, it's called Extreme Fight. Or you can just play a game where you have to use 2 clans.
Mm-hmm.
So you play some grade 3s of one clan, play some grade 3s of another clan, and try to do your best to mix them together.
Or you can do like a time capsule format like we did, where it was BTO 6 to BTO 9, or sorry, BTO 9 and before.
Yep.
Only that was
basically a free break ride.
that was fun for about 2 weeks, and then I can't remember what I did with the Angel Feather afterward.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. It was good for teaching people though.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
I
had
a lot of fun playing Zero.
Well,
I think I still have my
is great for teaching too. So far, it's been easy to teach people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Standard's very nice for that.
Yeah.
G-Arrow was a giant pain in the ass.
Oh, of course.
Oh my god.
All the cards had like really wacky effects, even at low rarities, and like Strides was another thing to teach people about. And just,
Everything just had a wall of text with like 3 skills.
yeah, that was the commons.
Took me about 3 weeks to teach my friend Carly.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
Like,
ridiculous.
Leopold is like the most text we've seen on a card since Vieira started, I
The
think.
most complicated deck in Standard Murakumo has 2 abilities, and they're pretty simple. I will actually, that's not true. I think the Right Arrestor is kind of complicated, but the rest of them are pretty easy.
So, I hear that Zanbaku has gone up some. How much did you get your Murakumo stuff for, Matt?
Well, I don't know if I should say it aloud, but
Why? Because you'll get stabbed in the street? What's the problem?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I got my playset for a good deal.
Okay.
But I wanted to plug the guy.
Oh.
But I don't want to like name my price so people can go harass him about it. Right.
Gotcha. Yes, that's a good idea, and go ahead and plug him if you.
So it's the Magic Satchel on eBay, or Tiskill if you're in Proof's Discord. He's a good guy, ships fast. Everything came. Oh, so this is very important to me. Everything came very nicely packaged.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is really important. Yeah. So like all the rares and stuff were like a top loader, and like everything was like sleeved in by playset.
Ooh.
So it's pretty easy to find everything. Everything was nicely organized. This is like really important. So it was very nice. It was very nicely done. I really appreciate it. And it arrived. I think he sent it on Saturday to arrive Monday.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was super great. So highly recommend the Magic Satchel. Again, if you're in Proof's Discord, he's there. But yeah, it was pretty amazing. So I have Murakumo now. It was pretty cheap when it came out. Like I think the Zanbakus were sitting at like 12. I think now they're at like 16.
16,
but Fushimi went down from $4 to like $1. So I don't know what you make of that. I think a play set would probably cost you around the same. And I'm playing the 9 grade 3 variant, so I'm playing the 4 Zanbaku, 3 Mandala, 2 Musashi. I think that list has become pretty standard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised people actually making good use of Mandala.
Well, it gives you 2 decent rides rather than 1. Like a lot of the problem, with some of the decks that we've called inconsistent, is that they have 1 good ride.
Yes.
And a lot of the decks that are better have multiple good rides. Like if you look at OTT, they have
Amaterasu, Imperial Daughter.
Yeah, like first riding Imperial Daughter is not great, but it's not the end of the world.
But you at least get a plus of it. It's something,
right? And like riding Amaterasu first is like also fine, and like
it is the preferred first ride.
Like Kagura, it's not the end of the world to ride Waterfall first. It's not the end. It's like it still does something.
Yeah.
But like it can be an absolute nightmare to ride to ride anything else in, say, like Grand Blue.
Death Rex, Skull Dragon, fucking...
Yeah, like everything but Baskirk is bad.
Yeah,
everything.
Well, unless they're at 5 damage, then Skull Dragon's really, really funny. I've done that a fair number of times. But
sure, but like your first ride to grade 3 cannot be anything but Baskirk, basically.
Yeah. In Pale Moon, what is nice is that you also have 2 decent rides in Alice and Golden Beast.
And then
so now you
play Artillery Man.
Yeah, so they have like 70 set rides, and if you play something at grade 2 that ends up living, and then you ride Mandala, that's huge. Like, so if they don't like if you even if it's in the back row, right? You can just like, okay, ride Mandala. I'm gonna call Mandala and the other thing, like whatever's sitting around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can choose.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So you can just randomly +2. Like you can like get 2 cards for a Counterblast and a Soul Blast.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
Around.
All right,
so,
I can see.
And this is kind of what I saw in Wendala when he was first shown, and I was kind of like, I guess like if something lives, it's like pretty strong.
Yeah, I guess that's the good thing is like he isn't explicitly tied to his cloning support.
Right. Like the old Mandala Lord was about like minus 10k your opponent's Vanguard, but this one is just about calling shit. Also, what's cool about New Murakumo is the clones don't go away.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Like you do lose a bit of power with like Million Rat and the Tiger, but
you only lose it. You only lose so that million that you call is 4k for that turn. The next turn is 8k.
Yep. That's all I was about to say. Like it loses power at first, but then
it's just a unit later.
Yep.
So that I think that so like inherently the shadow cloning stuff. Or not shadow cloning, the cloning stuff in Murakumo has gotten a bit stronger.
Yep.
Just because it's permanent.
Murakumo is good. I can't believe it.
So, with this great deal you got for Murakumo...
I mean, I don't... It was, like... It was... I wouldn't say great. I just think it was a good.
I feel like we're splitting hairs at this point. You got.
I mean, it's just. I don't want to. I don't want to feel like anything happened. I'm just saying, like it was. I felt real good about it. That's the best thing to say.
TLDR: go visit the Magic Satchel, but remember, it's not that magic.
No, I'm just saying, like I was what really impressed me was the speed and packaging.
Yes. That is
the part that really impressed me.
Very nice. Actually, I am getting something from the Magic Satchel tomorrow, and that will be going up on the Nexus Core YouTube channel on Halloween. So we got a little Halloween special for you guys.
What's it?
You'll find out. God damn. All right.
Is it a boat?
What did I get? Sprinklins. That's what I got.
Is it it's a bag of candy corn.
That's a very old reference that I just said right there.
It's a bag of candy corn. It's an ancient, unearthed bag of candy corn.
What is
from the ancient Mayans used to eat candy corn on Halloween.
I think there was a Lewis Black bit or something where he talks about I don't think they've ever made candy corn since the 20s. They just recycle it all every year.
Yeah, right. Every year they just dig up in the dumpsters and find all the candy corn that people have thrown away because nobody eats that shit and clean it up, repackage it.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it tastes like it's made of oil. With that weird point he does with the two hands, just the...
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. God, candy corn is fucking horrible.
Yes, it is.
It is. Why the fuck are we talking about candy corn?
Well, because we were talking about the Magic Satchel and then Murakumo, and somehow that got us to candy corn and Lewis Black. Nexus at Night, the Everything I Just Said podcast.
All right. So but Murakumo is pretty interesting clan. It's definitely interesting how they've evolved since their G era. It's just unfortunate their G support is fucking trash.
Yep.
And if anyone wants to say it's not fucking trash, well, I don't know what you're smoking, but give me some.
Yeah.
Fight him?
No, give me what you're smoking.
Awesome.
Yeah, I get that part, but like also the fight me thing.
We don't want to fight though. We don't. The easiest way would be through like Cardfight Area, and we all hate that piece of garbage program.
Oh my god! Yeah, Cardfight Area is a program that exists. That is the nicest thing I can say about it.
Yeah. Can we please keep making weird mechanics that break area?
Oh my god, those are my favorite. Man, Neo Nectar with the tokens is already like. But I'm pretty upset that in Great Nature, Gear Chronicle. What's the last set in this thing? Genesis.
Yeah, they're all like normal.
Last Hope, right?
Well, all we know is that there's a card that reduces Soul Blast costs by 2.
And I think there was one other that they revealed like a while back, but it was
You could either like put a unit that's standing, or like a card from into your hand, or like a card from the drop zone into your soul, or something like that.
Reduces Soul Blast cost by 2.
Yep.
Does that affect Wiseman and Premium?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. My guess is probably not, but who knows?
You do have to pay a counterblast for it, but I don't know how much that's actually worth.
Just for the turn, though?
What?
Is it for the turn counterblast costs less, or Soul Blast costs less than 2, or?
No, just the next time you do it.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought this card was much better than it was.
No.
Counterblast and then reduce the next Soul Blast by 2.
That would be pretty bonkers if you did that with the what's that Regalia Stride where you can Soul Blast 6, it gets 10k and a crit, and then you can just keep doing that over and over. So with this, you can just like Counterblast 5, or like Soul Blast 4, Counterblast, Soul Blast 4, and you can do that like a bunch more times. Or more times. I don't know.
That seems not great. Anyway.
That was the first thing that popped into my head.
You're sounding like Chris.
Also Phil Collins, but yeah, sure.
Phil Collins.
That's all.
Anyway.
Phil
Collins podcast.
Yes. Or Peter Gabriel, depending which era you're listening in.
Next Night, the Tarzan podcast.
Oh, God. The movie was terrible.
Because that's what we need. Tarzan.
Yes. So it seems that like individual cards in this set, VRs aside, has been pretty cheap. No.
Except PBD.
Yeah.
VRs aside.
Oh yeah, VRs aside. Yeah. Pretty much the only thing that's worth a shit is what, like random double Rs and triple Rs from Shadow Paladin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they're all like $5-6, and my my assumption, and this is based off past evidence, which I'll explain in a second, is that the reason that the prices in this set are so low is due to the existence of the, what do they call these things? The purple numbered PBDs? Secret, I guess?
I just call them numbers.
Yeah. That's I don't know if they have the numbered Phantom Blaster Dragons. Yes. Due to those chasing, like $800,000 depending on their number, those are inherently driving the rest of the price down because people are opening tons of product looking for these things. So people are opening a lot of product, more than people are buying, and hence that drives the price of the set down.
That moment where you can learn a lesson in card games by watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
So the reason that I assume this is because in other games, like a great example of this is Force of Will, they would make chase ruler like special like crazy rare ruler cards that would be worth hundreds of dollars, and therefore everything else in the set was worth nothing. What happened, and so you can kind of judge whether this is good or bad, is that it made people not want to open product to sell because the singles weren't worth very much, and you were just kind of hoping you opened these chase cards. This also happened in Magic the Gathering with the Expeditions and Masterpiece cards that were worth a lot of money, is that people would open a lot of product looking for these cards, and then the rest of the cards in the set would not be worth very much. So I do think this has a lot of historical basis, and I suspect that this is happening with AL4 as well.
One thing that I learned was that much like Asia Circuit, AL4 was like only given a single print run so far. Mm-hmm. So something tells me in the next few weeks, as people, as shops run out of boxes, that they will, like the price of the cards will go up for a little bit, and then it'll kind of level off as other things get hyped. But these number PVDs are like people are obsessed. I've seen pictures where they're like, I got 4 of them, and it cost me. They're like $700, $500 to $700. Like,
if you have one that ends in 69, I believe they're over 1,000.
Yes, that is true. Or 666 or something like some kind of culturally relevant number.
Pretty penny.
Mm-hmm.
Has somebody pulled 420? I know there's like a Google Doc where people like.
I just know that my friend has one, and I will not say the number here.
Ooh, interesting. Yep, Patreon goal. Get Matt to reveal what number his friend has.
But he just posted a picture. I'm like, is that yours? He's like, yep. I was like, nice.
Wow, good for him. Did he buy it or did he pull it?
Probably pulled it because he's that kind of guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a sack.
I don't know. Did you, Atlas? You know him. Do you remember Eric Lau?
Yes.
Him.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
he is a guy. He's great.
Speaking. Geez.
He's the one who taught me to play Vanguard.
Really? That's cool. Matt's origin story.
Yep.
So what do you think about this? These low prices coming to a store near you, or at a store near you?
I guess as people who are like investment at the current state, it's nice just being able to get all the stuff you need to play cheap.
Agreed. I mean, you can build a competitive deck for like $80, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can build a near probably like tier 1-ish deck for $80.
Yeah. Like I just got my Pale Moon stuff for about that much.
Right? And it's looking like Murkumo's sitting around 80.
Yep.
Get it now while supplies last.
Right? I mean, the best deck is probably still GT, but whatevs.
But even then, like, the hype on that is starting to kind of drop off.
Yep. There's just more stuff to play.
Yeah.
And as there'll be more clans that kind of can actually beat OTT, and there's not very many now, is my point. But like, as there are more, then you'll start looking for matchups to beat those decks.
Yeah.
And then the metagame will actually develop. But for a while there, for the first 3 sets or so, it's just nothing really competing with OTT.
Yeah. But now we're starting to climb out of the hole a little bit.
And they're starting to print actual powerful clans like elsewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like not excited by the prospects of like Gold Paladin in Ultra Rare. I think Gold Paladin looks pretty whatever. It looks like you have one shot to kill your opponent, and if you fail, you just lose.
Pretty much.
See also Aqua Force and Nova Grappler. And yet,
but like
Great
this one is
Nature
especially bad because the rewriter that kind of is like Pelidor is 3 Soul Blast, and the deck has like no way to gain soul except for rewriting.
And everything needs soul.
Yeah, and every single card in the set needs soul. So you just can't use very many effects in a game. So like,
do you even use Pelennor? Is that like?
I mean,
I wouldn't.
Probably Gurgit is like, or not Gurgit. The Ezel's also not great.
Yeah, Ezel's not good. Sagaromor is only okay because it's a free card.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. I think if it were me, I would just not play golds.
Yeah,
because I don't want to put in the effort to figure it out. But I know that people are, and I know that like there are some people like testing it already. And if they're putting in the work, I hope they figure out something. And like, I just don't think even the best gold builds is going to really be able to be competitive.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could, and if it's fun for you, that's fine. But I just wouldn't take it to a tournament.
Well, I mean, premium, you might get something.
I don't know.
I think with what we have right now, I don't know that premium is going to work out all that great either.
Could happen.
But they are getting a second wave of support in the school booster.
Oh, is the school booster hits early next year in Japan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I believe it's the next set after.
It is the next set after this Answer of Truth.
Yeah.
Kumo's getting more support.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna have to buy more cards.
2 sets from now.
Japan gets it in December. We get it in February.
These?
Yeah.
Man, I have to buy new Murakumo cards in February.
Yeah, and 4 days before my birthday, no less.
I wonder who it's gonna be. If I had to guess, it's gonna be the what's that idiot called?
What, to play Murakumo?
Hyaki? No.
Wait, what? No, there's no. It's Royals OTT Gold Paladin Nubatama Narukami. Good going, Root Beer.
Wait. Who Murakumo was in some set right after? Was in the set after that, right?
It's in the set afterwards, and it's still going to be Kyo.
It's still Kyo. When does he show up in that arc?
I don't know because I didn't read the manga, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be him because who else would it be?
We're really good at our jobs.
Shingo.
What?
Shingo had Murakumo.
Yeah. In the original,
but he's getting Nubatama.
Oh, he's getting Nubatama. Perfect.
Yeah, maybe he might do the thing where he switches around again. So maybe he might pick that up later. But
look, he's on the box for the school booster, and Nubatama is in it.
Yeah, I got that part. I'm talking about afterward.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out what what Kyo's going to be playing, so I know who I'm getting.
Oh.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because that's
also the set after is going to be all for the AL4 people. So.
All right, but Kyo also plays Nubatama in the manga apparently. Oh no, it's just the manga doesn't differentiate Nubatama and Murakumo. Never mind.
Yeah.
My brain hurts.
Fucking manga, dude. The fucking manga.
I mean, I don't think the leaders were around at this point in the manga, unless they were.
Who knows? I don't know. Like, we're just kind of randomly attached to the manga.
Yeah, it's tumultuous at best.
I just want to know who the boss is going to be
for
Murakumo.
I have no clue. I don't know. I can't tell who the boss card is just from the art.
All right, so in this era, Murakumo in the old show was Hyaki, right?
Yeah, but this is not Hyaki.
Right. Could be anything. It could just be like, oh no, it's Zangeki. What are we talking about? Never mind.
Oh,
is that who that is?
That thing.
I believe it's Zangeki.
Okay. Do we want to talk about the leaders at all?
I mean, this is a grab bag of an episode, and yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so in the set after set 4, which is AL4 Part 2, they're also going to be introducing the leaders. As soon as they announced that Link Joker was going to be forced, I think I at least called it immediately that it's going to be the leader. So, how do we feel about that? Do you think they're going to just get rid of Locke?
I'm good with that if they do.
I think it's very possible because you can't print because they made Excel circles kind of defining characteristic of a clan. You can't then have a mechanic that turns them off completely.
Yeah,
you have to let people be able to play their game. So deleters are just going to be effectively just using the delete as a power gain.
Yeah. Well, do you think they're going to give a ride lock? Because that's been my concern is there is this card in the original Deleter trial deck, Daunting Deleter Oxes. It was Ibuki's card in the movie, and they build it as your big boss card. So it was Counterblast 3 Deleters, eat one of your rear guards, delete your opponent's Vanguard plus 10k, but then It also had the clause that at the beginning of your opponent's ride phase, if your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, they could discard a card, and if they don't, they can't normal ride. Which is also the same skill that Zanbaku had, and we saw what that became in V era, so... Do you think it's possible that the set VR is going to give some kind of ride locking on top of the delete?
And like Atlas's copies of Negro Beach and Grand Blue went from 2 to 3.
I think if it did, it's going to have some extra restrictions going on.
Mm.
I don't know what those restrictions will be, but Zanbaku has in the ride lock does have the restriction of having both left and right arrestor.
Yeah.
Or just 2 arresters.
You need
Oh wait, no, you need left and right arrestor for the no re-ride, but you need
right, and then you need right arrestor on play counterblast too. If you have left arrestor and a Zanbaku Vanguard, you can stun.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like, I do think you'll have more conditions than just do the thing. So I just don't know what they're going to be.
Another speculation is that it will delete gifts.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to bring up too.
That could be interesting.
Depending what you're playing against, that's devastating. Being able, like, if something's on an Excel circle, you can take a circle out from under the thing.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So that means A, you retire the card, and B, they have to rewrite it in an Excel circle. Assuming it works the way I think it does.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Protect gifts, it deletes a perfect card out of your hand. Like, it has a mind crush now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And there is already the rule that gifts have to be like differently sleeved from the rest of the deck, so I think there's less room to argue to say that there's no gift in your hand, like with that one G-Guard workaround for Gilderai or whatever.
Fair. On the Bermuda one, we have to like bounce a card and call a card.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I don't have one.
Yeah, like, well, I have to call a card, and you can't prove that I don't that I have a grade 0 in my hand without cheating. So,
but you just bounced one. Yes, so.
I mean, this would definitely differentiate Link Joker from other Force clans, and it seems like Bushiroad is making more of an effort to differentiate clans from each other. So this would be an easy way to do it, albeit something that could throw the balance off.
I have an important topic.
Yeah.
What Excel gift should I get for my deck?
Oh my god. I've been doing just the generic ones with cool sleeves. That's been my method because.
I want something inherently less lame than that.
Fuck you. You could do the character ones like the Asuka, Kyo, etc. Or you could
like anybody who plays an Excel clan.
All the Excel clan characters are so crappy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Although if you tell that about Asuka to our friend Ash, she will punch you in the stomach. But
just don't tell her I said that. Easy.
I don't think she even listens to this podcast.
I'm pretty sure none of our friends listen to the podcast.
Our friend James does.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Anyway.
But we're going to find out if she does.
Yeah.
But James, don't tell her either, all right? Thank you.
You could do... I think if you want something cool, but doesn't, cost you money for people...
I might just get the Zanbaku ones, to be honest.
I was going to say you could do just the unit ones, where you have a Zanbaku one and a Gigarex one. It's blah, 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 blah.
Well, no, I'm just going to go, 4 Zanbaku ones. You'll never have, more than 4, right?
Nope.
Has anyone ever had more than 4 gifts sitting on the table?
I've had up to 4 with Tachikaze, and that is it.
All right.
I was quite lucky.
I've never seen anyone have more than 3 Excel gifts anyway, but I'm just going to get 4 just to be safe.
Yeah.
What I've been doing is, I have clear sleeves for Tachikaze, clear sleeves, the normal, just generic Excel gift on one side, and then the Excel gift is with Gigarex on the other. And then when you're not using them, you have them as Gigarex, and then when they're in use, you flip them over and put them on the table. That way it's easier to tell the difference between that's a circle, that's, my gift pile over there.
Neat.
Yeah. Hooray. So, that was about... I don't have anything else for this grab bag of an episode, unless you guys have...
Yep.
There was that one comment suggestion we had. I don't know if we actually want to talk about it.
What the thing
Well,
about...
we have to now.
I mean, Wasn't specific enough that we really have to.
Well, again, you brought it up. This would just be a dick move to not.
Alright. So, let me just pull the comment up. I think we can talk about this quickly, because we're going to talk about why we're not taking his suggestion at the current time.
Sure.
So, this is a super long, I'm going to try to read it as fast as I can. So, a comment we got was thinking about an idea for a future episode. With the release of Psycholia Strife, we got a taste of what second wave support for clans look like. The VRs don't synergize well with existing VRs. Do you think that Bushiroad intends for them not to be the star of your deck and not synergize with other VRs? Cards like Imperial Dagger and Waterfall seem like they could be evergreen and slotted into all decks in the future. Granted, they don't get better finishers. And running double VRs would be optimal, but do you think their design team only intends people to use one type of VR and lock it through card synergy? Is that healthy? Can you see deck prices getting worse if you need multiple VRs? And that was basically the extent of their question.
So I actually think the topics they brought up here are like pretty interesting. I think like deck prices probably will go up because I think decks will in general, and I think in generic support they likely will need multiple VRs. I think especially if you look at clans like it's very easy for Murakumo to need multiple of them. It's very easy for clans like Royal Paladin, or maybe not Royal Paladin specifically, but a clan like Grand Blue, if they got a second wave support, to need additional VRs, just because like they need a second ride that's like usable.
Yeah.
Or like Tachikaze in a second wave support would definitely play a second VR.
Yep.
So I think the problem with his thesis is that he's using the Psycholia booster as a.
Well, that's the thing is like we're bringing it up in the context of the Psycholia booster, and the problem with the VRs there isn't that they're VRs; it's that they're grade 4s.
Right, and grade 4s inherently bring a lot of inconsistency to the deck, where if it were just a normal grade 3, it would not have that same kind of inconsistency.
Yeah, like, if Exculpate and Novel were grade 3s, I think this discussion would be pretty different, because we could look more into trying to integrate those cards into the deck, but because there's grade 4s, like, you have to adjust your deck ratios to fit that in, and then a lot of the new support in that set was just, okay, here, find your grade 3 so that you don't completely lose the ability to play this game if you don't start with one in your hand.
Yeah, but this is a topic I'm totally willing to talk about, and I think we can talk about it pretty in depth. But I would like to wait till probably the second set of Wave 2 support, or at least till we know kind of what's going on with the second set of Wave 2 support. Once we've had a couple streams showing the VRs and what their themes will be set.
Like as soon as they announce like all of the current wave of support, one of the first things on my mind is like we're gonna have to talk about Bushiroad's design philosophy for second wave support. And originally we were just going to hold off until the mini booster, but then we saw what it was with the grade 4s, and we were like, this seems a lot more like an outlier, not a proper indication of how second wave support is going to go, so that said, we're just going to wait.
I find it incredibly unlikely that we're going to have second wave support full of grade 4s.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
Right?
I think with what we're seeing in, like, Ultra Rare and now the, like, current set, we're not seeing any grade 4s. Like, this is first wave support, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but, like, I highly doubt it, because if they were going to make grade 4s the norm outside of Gear Chronicle, then we would have seen it already.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we still have first wave support to get through for aforementioned Link Joker, but also, like, Bermuda Triangle and Nubatama.
We're almost there, though. We are almost there.
Yep.
We are almost there, but that'll start in 2019. And so basically, we'll get to it. We haven't forgotten about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely something I think we should talk about. And I think the topic's good. I just think it's not the right time for it. I think I just think this is a bit misdirected.
Yeah.
You want to aim at the future sets instead of the booster.
But we
trust me, I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about this with the mini booster, but like grade 4s are just not the right context for it.
So
yep.
Either way,
and people are.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. People are playing Exculpate as like low numbers in the Royal decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that might work better because it means you don't have to play all the search for extirpate garbage.
Yeah.
Or discard extirpate to fix your ride garbage. Where you can just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna sometimes draw extirpate and it's gonna be great.
Yeah. And also, as our final point, King of Knights Alfred is just not an interesting card, and we don't want to talk about him.
Fact.
Well said. Also, Alfred Early just lumped in there. But seriously though, thank you for if you guys have these kind of questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Comment on the Facebook post that we put up every week with the episode, or tweet at us, or Instagram. I have this one guy who asks me questions every single time a piece of Vanguard news comes up, but he does this thing where he'll tag me and then use my name in the tweet, even though the tag has my name anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be like, Atlas Novak. Hey, Atlas. I'm like, what? The name's already there. You're good. You're just wasting characters at this point. Anyway.
Before we close it out, I want to say one thing that's kind of like not serious.
Yeah.
So Million Rat's flavor text in the new Million Rats flavor text that's not a cloning technique. It is actually multiplying.
Wow, that's so
not
apt.
Flavor text. It just accurately describe what the card does.
Yeah. And it sounds,
now this just makes me think he has a bunch of like ninja rat buddies waiting in the wings, and anytime he wants to use his cloning technique, quote unquote, he just like throws down the smoke bombs, and his buddy like really quickly runs in to make it look like he multiplied.
Right?
Harry, get in here. Let's go. My favorite thing about the flavor text for Million Rat is this sounds like the way Matt talks.
What? Oh, because it says actually?
Yeah. the only way it could...
I need to fix a lot of things. I'm sorry.
The only way it could sound even more Matt is if the word medium or objectively are in there somewhere.
That is not objectively. This is not This is not a cloning technique. It is actually, factually, objectively multiplying.
Exactly.
This is not a medium cloning technique. It is actually multiplying.
Triangle, Cobra, Cobra, Triangle. Sunrise, sunset. Alright, you can find us on Twitter, at Nexus at Night, or on Instagram. You can find me at Atlas Novak.
Find me at Wiggums, 2 G's, 2 Z's.
Find me at Plasma Eclipse.
And until next time, I'm excited.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Same.
And have a good night, everybody. # callbacks.